What's up, magical people? Welcome back to your most magical life. I'm Mia Magic. Today we're talking about the Gemini new moon coming up on May 30th. It is going to be such an amazing moon. I'm a Gemini, so obviously I'm excited. It's Gemini season. And today I'm going to be sharing with you a really powerful ritual that in my classic Gemini mode came through me, was like downloaded, as they say, from the ethers. And it feels like it's going to be really, really powerful. I'm going to do it with my partner. So I'm going to offer that to all of you if you would like to create a ritual for yourself, since I'm going to be doing mine with my man instead of leading one. I am, obviously. And so I am very excited to be in the energy of this time, my sun time. And something that I think is really important for us all to recognize is not just knowing when the new moons and full moons are, but to really understand what it means to be in Gemini season. So tomorrow I'm releasing a video about the season itself and like what that means for all of us. And so what I'm going to be sharing with you today is a really powerful ritual. The biggest thing about Gemini is that it is very much like the air. It's the airiest of the air signs, because Aquarius is very much the higher mind and Libra is very much about like the balance in our reality, in life, in the world, in our relationships, and how we relate to the world around us. And Gemini is everything. It is the full spectrum. It is the depth of the darkness. I'm going to share about the real myth of Gemini, the one twin who can live in the realm of the gods up on Mount Olympus, and the other twin who lived in the underworld, and the capacity to be traversing between these realms. That is what Gemini is all about. You're going to see it's not two-faced, it's like 2,000,000-faced. It's multifaceted and prismatic. Gemini is so adaptable and can pretty much like show up anywhere, make friends with anyone, feel connected to any space. Like I was like sobbing when we were leaving the castle. I just finished my retreat in Scotland. It was so amazing. We're doing another one in October. So if you'd like to join, it's the most magical week ever. And like, I do a lot of magical shit. And so this was me getting to really like drive the magical spaceship and be at a castle in Scotland. It was incredible. So as we were leaving our retreat, we were leaving Scotland after being so activated and amplified by this experience and all of these amazing women just coming together and like living their most magical lives with me, which was so epic and totally my dream come true. I was like sobbing at the end. I was like crying. I didn't want to leave. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want this to be over. And then this little voice came in, classic Gemini, the messenger of the gods. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the messenger of the gods, just like Thoth or Hermes. Those are just different names because of different cultures and civilizations being in charge, or, being sort of the ruling body. But those are all the same names for this frequency, this archetype that rules Gemini. The scribe, the deliverer of messages. And I felt this message come in, this very mercurial energy, this very, voice of the goddess. And she was like, Mia, you always feel like this when you fall in love with a place. You never want to leave, and you say you're going to come back forever, and this is where you're going to live from now on. And you have that everywhere because you fall in love everywhere you go. You fall in love with the places that really connect with you and that really vibe with you. And that is very much a Gemini quality. We know that Sagittarius is Gemini's opposite, and Sagittarius is like the traveler and the adventurer and the scholar. And the way that Sagittarius is concerned with the answers, Gemini will just keep asking questions. Like, if you don't have an answer for me, fine. Like, I'm going to just keep asking questions until I find my own way. So one of my favorite ways to like really represent my own Geminian style and vibe is to wear two different earrings. And people are always like, oh, you're missing an earring because they don't see the other one. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just wearing two different ones. Like, this is how I like it, it's fun, it's cool. It's like something long, something feathery, something different, and then like something sparkly. And yesterday I was wearing like a mushroom one with a big gold hoop, and that is so much about the Gemini. And another piece of Gemini that's really important, and again, my video tomorrow is going to be an extension of all this information in terms of how to amplify your energy during the Gemini season in general. But Gemini, in that twin nature, that dual-faced nature, it's also just about the reflection. It's like, what do I see before me? What am I presenting to myself, and what's being presented to me in return from the world around me? And so that can be, again, because Gemini is an air sign, it's about our communication. It's about our thoughts. It's about our visions. This is all air. It's about how we express ourselves, which is why you see Geminis that are pretty comfortable most of the time expressing themselves. A lot of Geminis on social media or doing the influencer thing because they feel comfortable sharing either themselves or the deep messages and the deep experiences and the deep processes that have helped them become more of themselves. And that's certainly what my mission is, right? So many of you know, and it was so beautiful to receive all these amazing reflections at the retreat, that the reason why you resonate with my teachings likely, or what you already know about me, is that I'm not going to ever tell you to do something one specific way, because I don't believe that. Whenever anyone tells me like, this is the way, this is the path to enlightenment, this is the process, this is what you must do in order to find yourself or your peace or your transcendent state, I'm just like, you're full of shit. Like, you have no idea. If you really think there's only one way, like, then your way is not my way. Not going to work for me. I'm out of here. Gotta go. So I'm never going to tell you that, because I have seen thousands of people climb up the mountain all on their own path and all in their own unique ways. And so that is what I will always teach you, and I will always share with you, and I will always be a pillar of. And my specific mission in that is to help you become yourself, is to help you be your own most magical self, your wisest, witchiest self, to be connected to that intuition, your inner wisdom, your magic, your power, and live your life from there, not based on like any spell or anything that I tell you to do, right? Like, what my work is really about is like getting the shit out of the way that prevents you from being yourself. And so that's a very Geminian way of living. That's a very Gemini quality, right? I'm bringing the messages of the gods. And for me, it is the goddess. It's Mother Earth. That's who I speak on behalf of. That's who's always guiding me. That's my greatest teacher. And Gemini is the student. It's all about studentship. And so we really want to look at, how can I learn from this experience? Again, that reflection, what's in front of me? How can I learn from this? Is it a person I'm meant to learn from? Is it a situation I'm meant to learn from? Is it a place? Is it an experience? Is it, a sisterhood type of community? What am I seeing? What's being reflected back to me? What am I learning? And then when you look at, again, that opposing view, the Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, right? So the opposite elements, the like fueling elements, right? Because air fuels fire. You can really see how when we share the messages that are right for us, that's what then makes us become a scholar, right? Because we're eternally in the studenthood, we're always learning, and then we not regurgitate, but then we like reciprocate, or we recycle, we share, we outflow, not a word, but you know what I mean, what our information is. And that's what then like makes you become sort of an academic or a scholar, a professor, right? That's all very Sagittarian archetype. And so for this new moon, I highly recommend doing this practice, because I think it's going to be really powerful. It came through. It's what my partner and I are going to do together. And again, I would normally love to be leading a ritual for y'all, but it feels like for me, the most important reflection right now is with my man. We were apart for almost we've ever been apart, and man, it's just been so good to come back to him. He's just like so fucking big and meaty and sexy and loves me so much and is doing such amazing things in the world, like having dinner with Joe Dispenza the other night. I'm just like, fuck yes, king, I fucking love you, baby. So like, I'm gonna give my ritual energy to him. And if you have a partner, if you've been struggling together, if you've been like really in your love and light and magic together, then definitely, maybe this would be a really great opportunity for you guys to do this ritual together, to try it out. Obviously, my partner and I are both Geminis, so like it's a little twin thing, you know what I'm saying? Like a Jamie and Cersei moment, like, Anyways, I should probably edit that out, but fuck it, whatever. You guys know, this is like who I am. That was the best part of the retreat. I was just all the way, all of who I am for 6 days. There's no hiding, so all the queens saw like the full spectrum of me. Full dragon, full inner child, full sadness and weeping at the patriarchy, like every side. And it was so amazing. So that's very much what Gemini is asking of you. And this new moon, as I say all the time, new moons are about planting seeds. This is probably the most Gemini video I've ever made, right? She's all over the place, but fuck it. It's okay. I know you guys can accept it, and you're still going to learn a lot, right? So this new moon wants you to be in alignment with that version of yourself. Can I say everything that I know I'm meant to say? Now, here's the thing about Gemini. Here's where like a shadow can come in that's really important to be aware of. Because I feel comfortable talking, because I feel pretty comfortable being seen, because I know for the most part, like deep in my soul, that what I'm sharing is actually what's meant to be said, or it's meant to be heard, or there's some medicine in it for people. If I'm not actually a deeply self-aware person, and I speak from personal experience in my own past, I can think that what I'm saying or think that what I'm sharing is really important, and it actually isn't. I can think that, I can create the story that this is something that people need to hear, and this is just the truth, and like everyone needs to wake up to it, and that can actually not be other people's experience. They can have a completely different perception of what I'm saying. And so if you are a Gemini on the spiritual path, something that you have to be very hyper aware of is this coming from me? From a need to be seen, a need to be heard, a need to be acknowledged? Is this coming from a need to feel important? Do I need to feel like I'm worthy of being here in this moment? Because if you're saying things from that space, it's very likely that that reflection, who or what receives that information or that energy from you or that communication, is not actually going to resonate with it. Again, trust me, okay? I know about this. But if you can be really deeply in your own practice, your own listening, and this is going to be important for all of us during Gemini season, right? Like this energy comes up. And again, my video tomorrow will be all more about Gemini season and like what you can do to really work with this energy. But you have to be aware of, and what the new moon is asking of you in terms of like when you plant your seeds during Gemini season, you have to be aware of really truly coming from a place of service with your communication, knowing that you're not just trying to be seen or trying to be heard, but you're actually receiving something that is meant to be said, meant to be shared. It's going to help this person. It's going to help you. It's important for you to stand for yourself and like know who you are and proclaim what's true for you, right? So you have to say that because you have to stand up for yourself. You have to set a boundary. Yeah, for sure. All of those things are very important. But if you're like in a group of people and you're just like, blah, 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 and like trying to be seen, then that's actually not necessary information for other people, right? You don't need to say it. When you're of service, when you're truly delivering a message from the divine, from God or the goddess, you are being of service. And one of the most important archetypes to understand about the Gemini is the storyteller, receiving those messages of the gods, telling the stories, witnessing and learning from the reflection, and seeing how we can tell a different story about our lives. Again, looking around at the world, how are we informing our reality with the stories that we're telling ourselves? How are we expressing the stories of our lives to our friends, right? Again, that needing to be seen or that being in the victim energy. How we tell our stories as a Gemini truly creates our life. And so really being aware during this time how you're telling the stories of your life in order to really create what you do or you don't want. And I know this so deeply within myself because I'm a Gemini. I've always been like easy to talk, easy to share, like oversharing, getting lost in my own spirals. And then like all I can talk about is like the breakup or the thing that's like hurting me. And then I'm just like spinning and spinning and spinning. I'm not being of service. But I can also fucking sit in my car and turn a voice recorder on and like, boom, get a fucking channel from the goddess directly to me. Let me know what's really good, like what's up. And that's why I love this channeled writing practice. This is such a Geminian process, but it's one of my absolute favorites. And I have a free download below. So if you want to try the channeled writing practice that I always recommend, I call upon my highest self, or I call upon the Gemini, I call upon the dragon. Please write to me, through me, anything I'm meant to receive in this moment. I created a beautiful 10-minute meditation to go ahead of that because I always like to do my meditations first and then do the channeled writing practice. So that free download is below if you would like to receive that and do that practice with a little bit of support and guidance. That practice has given me such clear, crystalline guidance and insight in my life that I know that I can trust it when I'm in alignment. So that is the biggest piece to really set the intentions of and plant the seeds of for this new moon, is to look at where, when, and how do I express myself, or do I try to communicate from a place of needing to be seen or heard? And when am I communicating from a place of like delivering the divine message, like the teaching from my soul, from the truth, from the divine, from the goddess or the god. Anything about being able to communicate with both your light and your darkness, your beauty and your shadow, your awareness and your ignorance, being able to communicate with yourself. Like, how do you talk to yourself? That's what Gemini wants you to plant the seeds of. It's like, I speak to myself with love, with kindness. Like when I can't hear the voice of the goddess, like I sit down and do a channeled writing, or I do a meditation, or I do some breath work, or I do some shaking, or I do a dance. And I get myself out of my own way so that I can then be there in the energy of what the true communication is, what the reflection is that I actually want to see from my life. So look around at your reflection. Look around at the life that surrounds you, the life that you've created. How does it make you feel? What do you think about it? What are the stories that you can see, right? If it's like, oh, I can't afford this, or like, oh, I could never just be this artist, or whatever it is. Like, how are those negative stories or limiting beliefs informing the reality around you? This ritual that I really want you all to try is about using that communication and that channel and that message from the gods or the divine to really see where, what, or how you need to be working on yourself. So the ritual that I received to offer to you all is to call in that energy, invoke the Gemini in whatever way you see fit. If you want to set a circle, if you want to call your directions, like I always recommend that for creating ritual space. And then what I want you to do is to spend part of your time in the mirror. So maybe it's 5 minutes and you communicate into the mirror, talking to yourself. I'm looking at my big, gorgeous mirror of Erised here. And you communicate with yourself. What are the messages that you need to hear? For me, during my retreat, I let a patriarchal situation really overcome me. And I actually shut down and didn't speak my truth. And so there wasn't a mirror involved, but I got bitch slapped basically by the goddess all night. I didn't sleep. She was like, how dare you? How dare you not stand up for me? How dare you stay silent when all you do is speak up? And I was like, fuck, you're right. You're like so true. Oh my goddess. So did a rage ritual the next morning. So intense, so beautiful, so important. So the mirror is you and you. What does the divine have to say to you? Messages to you, for you. Then with another person, with a partner, with a friend, you know, whoever it is, what do you channel through for them and what do they channel through for you? And then do the channeled writing practice. Again, download the free meditation. It's totally free. Free meditation at the bottom of this video to get into that space, and you can listen to it as part of your ritual if you want. It's a beautiful, like elemental, very gentle, easy guided meditation. And then channel whatever it is that either you're having struggles or challenges with, and you're like, oh, I need guidance on this thing. So I call upon my higher self. I call upon the goddess. I call upon Mother Earth. I call upon like my perfect career. I call upon my own destiny, whatever it is. Please write to me, through me, anything I'm meant to receive in this moment. And that's more of like guidance. This is either like proclamation and invitation. Like, this is what I'm creating. This is how I'm going to create it. This is what must happen. And then the letter is like the guidance. Like, how can I make those things happen? How can I step forward in this way? How can I heal my relationship to abundance, or whatever the case may be? Which, speaking of that, I have a nice little bundle for all of you. I am doing a sale for 666 because it's 66 and 222 is 6. And so this is the old witchy number, of course, and such an important number. I'm going to be making a video about 666 as well, just because it's like so misunderstood, just like everything else. So there's going to be a sale on my website for Witchy Rich and Witch School. So Witch School obviously is like fundamental, beautiful, magical information. The week 1 meditation is like one of the most incredible things I've ever created. I fucking love it so much. And then Witchy Rich is my program about slaying scarcity and manifesting money magically. It's incredibly powerful. One of our students made like $100,000 in the first couple of weeks of the program. Like, it fucking works. I just got another message the other day from someone who was like, I got a $35,000 raise after a week of the program. I'm like, great, amazing. And that was not even when it was live. It's just like evergreen. So there is going to be an option for you to get a discount on Witch School and Witchy Rich and buy them together for the 666 week. And I really, really encourage each and every one of you to just look at these three facets. Gemini is the third sign. It's very much related to that Trinity energy and that communication, how we express, how we let ourselves live, die, and be reborn, and really looking at those three facets, these three ways of channeling the divine, of receiving the information, and let yourself feel what way is best for you. What way is going to be best moving forward? What practice can you integrate into your life? You know, mirror work is incredibly powerful to look at yourself really deeply in the eye and see yourself, not just for your physical, but see the divine inside of you. And let that be what speaks. Let that be what is shared and communicated. And again, just be mindful with your communication with everyone you love, everyone in your life, because it's going to be a little bit more intense these days. So I'm so grateful to each and every one of you. Thank you for letting me be my Gemini self. If you are interested in my retreat in Scotland in October, we're going back and applications are only open this week. So just for a couple more days. So it depends on when you see this video, but we're almost full already. So if you are interested in joining us for the most magical Scottish castle full Hogwarts vibe experience, then please let me know and I'll put a link to the application below. And also make sure you download this free meditation. It's so powerful and fabulous. And if you're looking to get into Witch School and Witchy Rich, we're going to have a discount going on this week. So that is very exciting. And I can't wait to share all of the magic with you. It's just deeply pleasurable to me to be able to live my life and be who I am, and just know that me inviting you into your most magical life is truly for you to find and create whatever that means for yourself. I just want to live in a magical world, y'all. That's what I want. And so I want you to find your magic so we can live in that world together. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I am Mia Magic, and it is my greatest pleasure to continue welcoming you to your most magical life.